You'll want to head to Walmart to grab some carpet underlay when you see how upscale this idea turned out. I'm selecting one 5.5-inch long cedar board and one long cedar strip. Using the depth measurement of the large board, one end of the board is being marked, then cut twice, creating two perfect squares. I'm positioning a square board upright beside it, then lifting the back board to create a closed corner. On the other side, I'm marking the board on the table to the length of the backboard, minus the thickness of the other square board, then cutting the board down to that size. All the standing boards now fit snugly around the flat board, creating a crate shape with the front end open. Before assembling, all the boards are getting a light sanding along all the fronts and edges. After dry fitting the two crates, I'm marking, then pre-drilling pilot holes to reduce the potential of the wood splitting when assembling. The screws are being positioned into each hole, then screwed in using gentle pumps with a cordless drill. With the two crates now assembled, I'm placing one crate on top of the sheet of carpet underlay, which happens to resemble cane material, roughly cutting it to the size of the crate. The material is being stapled to the crate's open end, starting at the two short ends first, then along the bottom, pulling it firm as I work. After the underlay is tightly trimmed to the crate shape, I'm placing a cedar strip across the top and bottom open end of the crate, attaching them to the crate with screws. To mount the crate to a wall, I'm placing a level on the top, then securing the crate to the wall, making two super cool crate-styled shelves with the look of expensive cane inserts. I love how the raw wood marries the caning look, giving these shelves a timeless neutral appeal that can go with most any decorating style. If you too have some shelves that could use a fresh look without breaking the bank, let's head to the thrift store to stock up. I'm on the lookout for neutral accessories that would go well with my rustic wood shelving. I'm first measuring the lamp, then readjusting the top shelf to make sure it fits. Next up, I'm going to do a small mini makeover on the bulletin board. Choosing Fusion Mineral Paint in Coal Black with a small angled paintbrush, I'm painting the inside of the bulletin board black, which really freshens up the look quickly. Next up, I'm measuring the height and width of the top part of the shelving unit to create an interesting feature. Grabbing an old bulletin board from my stash, I'm transferring the measurements onto the board, then cutting it with an X-Acto knife. You can also use foam core board or even paint directly on the wall if desired. I'm now choosing to paint the board with the same color wall paint so the two blend flawlessly. You can also go bolder with a totally different color if preferred. To quicken up the dry time for the next step, I'm propping the board in front of a fan. Now that the board is dry, I'm positioning a stencil called Retro Star from Funky Junk's Old Sign Stencils in the middle of the board. Choosing Fusion Mineral Paint in Coal Black once again, I'm prepping the stencil brush by offloading it until the brush feels dry. This ensures your images are left with no paint bleed. I'm now tapping the paint through the stencil until the desired coverage is met. I find spreading the paint all over best to start with, then doubling up the coverage second, which offers the crispest images since the brush becomes a little drier. I'm working the pattern from all directions until the entire board is filled. I'm now outfitting the stencil board onto the back of the shelving by slipping it inside the wood gaps to hold it in place. If your bookshelf is solid, you can even tape the board to the back of yours. Now it's time to decorate the shelves. With all my thrift store finds on the floor, I'm arranging the shelves in an attractive way. The lamp is being placed at the very top so it casts more light in the room. On the bottom shelf, the books are being stacked inside a vintage drawer. And the end result is a charming shelving arrangement that really draws your eye in. The stencil backdrop really adds a splash of added interest, which is of course super easy to remove when desired as well. And keeping all the arrangements super neutral themed with wood, white, black, and plants keeps the shelving look cohesive and clutter-free. If you'd like to instantly enhance your home with an easy decorative idea, consider picking up an old stepladder. After getting an old wooden stepladder home, I'm giving it a light sweep to clean it off, then a light scuff sand to remove any rough areas. One could also paint it as well. However, I'm choosing to leave it as is to display its authentic finish. To add display stability, I'm attaching two large brackets to the top of the ladder. Each bracket is getting screwed to the top of the ladder, then it can be attached to a wall once positioned. I'm now lifting the ladder and placing it against my desired wall. Since I'm choosing to leave the entire ladder intact for future repurposed projects, I'm pulling both sets of legs against each other, then tying them together using a dark heavy twine on each side. I'm wrapping the twine around both legs several times, then trimming and knotting the twine together from the inside. Then unraveling each of the end cuts so they appear like they've been there forever. Reaching for a carpenter's level, I'm placing the level on one step, then adjusting the ladder position until the steps sit level. Repositioning the ladder will also self-adjust the secured top brackets. Now I'm shopping my own collections, gathering up some like-minded trinkets I'd like to display. Now I'm selecting a decorative hook and attaching it near the top of the ladder with screws. Next up, I'm choosing a scrap piece of wood that is closely toned to the ladder wood and cutting it to the length of a lower step using a miter saw. This extension is being placed on a ladder step, then is being attached with a screw from the underside. Moving over to all my group collections, I'm deciding where each piece will be displayed. Since I desire to display an antique picture I don't wish to permanently modify, I'm attaching a door pull to the underside of a ladder step so the picture frame can simply rest against it. This little hack makes the frame's placement adjustable as well. I'm attaching a clip-on light to the very top of the ladder for added ambiance when desired. To hide the light cord, I'm running it down one ladder leg, then weaving it in between a few screws to hold it in place. And now I'm loading up the ladder. A cozy blanket is being hung from a hook, then chosen collections are being placed on each step where desired. Some items are getting stacked to create more height, so all the ladder spaces get filled up more so. And the end result is a beautifully curated collection of all my favorite things to look at with added side table perks. I love how the ladder adds height, allowing for plenty of mini shelves to store all my favorite things. It's said that to fully love your home, that you should display all the things you love to look at, and this ladder shelf certainly does it for me. Plus, the added shelf gives more space for my coffee and creates a deeper shelf to display something larger. Then turn on the light, and you have extra ambiance that will really be appreciated in the evenings. An adjustable light that simply clips on is an easy add. It can be positioned to either display your collections or twisted to the side if you decide to do some reading or writing. This ladder shelf could also be used to hang pictures or showcase all your favorite reading books. You get to choose.